Yo, welcome to the No Hezzy Hoopcast, everybody. This is Marcus. I'm one third of the crew here, and I'm excited to be on. Excited to have you on today to talk all things hoops. Uh, but before we get started, man, we got to hear from the fellas to hear how they are doing. So we're gonna start with Black, man. How are you doing on this Sunday afternoon?
Well, man, I got a bone to pick with you, big brother.
Okay,
I
let's
got a
let's
bone
go.
to pick with you. All right. Listen, I love and respect the fact that you are black, you are married, and you are debt free. I
Right.
love that. But I'm not going to stand for you flexing on me and Malik with a 4K camera looking glossy, and $1,000 mic sounding like Hova. I'm not gonna allow that. All right. I gotta speak out about that. All right.
I
I'm
get you,
doing good, fellas. How are you?
man. I'm good. Lee, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, I second that with Black. I mean, I am in need of a new mic and camera, apparently. All right. You got this dude, Mark, looking like an avatar, looking like a somebody like he's shooting on an avatar camera. All right.
I'm just trying to
Meanwhile,
bring
me and
that.
Black are on Nokia phones.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Hey man, I'm just trying to bring that value to the viewer. So, but fellas, man, we got a lot to get to, man. I want to hear y'all narratives on a few topics. So let's get started. We're gonna start with Luka Doncic. Luka is playing unbelievable right now, and we're gonna talk about it here. Black, I'm gonna start with you, man. What do you think about where Luka is? On the upper echelon of NBA players. I mean, is he that guy? Is this his time right now?
Listen, we are 3 pods in. We are 3 pods in, and we're just now talking about what this man has been doing since the start of the season. And I apologize to the no hezzy community because we're not doing our jobs. All right. Luka Doncic is 12 games into the season and he scored 30 points or more in all 12 games.
Dang.
He's in
Yeah.
hollow territory right now. He's in a goat-like trajectory
Yeah.
and he's just going up. He's going up. And I think Leak, he is trying to challenge Ja Morant, your pick for MVP this season.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
kid is
I got no doubt
dynamite.
about that.
Now that being
Yeah, I'm
said,
rocking with Luca, man.
that
Oh,
being
go
said,
ahead,
I
go. I
don't know.
thought you took that little pause like you was done bloviating. You got to.
No, I just wanted to point out the fact that that doesn't mean that Dallas is going to be doing anything of note come postseason. But so far, Luka Doncic is taking the world by storm.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Lee, what's your thoughts, man?
So I got Luca's numbers up right now for the season. 34, 9, and 8. That's where he's at
Ooh,
right now.
good
Um,
lord.
shooting 49, basically 50% from the field, which is extremely good, especially for a perimeter player. But he is shooting 28% from three, and this kind of continues that talk about Luca's 3-point shot selection. He's shooting 8 threes a night, making about 28% of them. I feel like if Luka just stopped belling teams out by taking that deep three so
Mm,
much or taking that step back three, he probably averaged 40 points a game.
mm,
Uh, but it is incredible to watch, and I kind of don't pay attention to Luka closely during the regular season. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like he is who he is at this point.
Mhm.
We see how he works the game. We see how he's effective. We see his effectiveness is sustainable. He's consistently dominating on a night to night basis. It's pretty much like the White Jordan, basically, right? You know what I mean? Like he has a legend and some type of mystique to him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now, with that being said, I don't care about it. I don't care about
Doesn't
it.
move the needle.
It doesn't move. I need to see Luka in the playoffs, and he does show up in the playoffs. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I need to see him win in the playoffs. I don't care about all this 30 points a game, 49% from the field. I need to see you take your team, elevate your players, elevate your teammates to a level that they could not reach without you. And quite frankly, I think Luka plays goated in the playoffs, but that doesn't necessarily mean his team is going to play good. Luka's success doesn't necessarily equal team success. Now, yes, they did get to the Western Conference
I was gonna
Finals last
say,
year,
yeah, I was gonna say,
but
they did.
you don't have to say.
I was gonna
all right?
call it a
I'm
question
gonna
your
go there.
narrative.
Now, to me, the Suns dropped the ball. That's what happened with that. The Dallas Mavericks were not supposed to win that series by any means. The Suns dropped the ball. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Monty Williams, all those guys failed miserably last year with that postseason run. So I don't even like Luka wasn't supposed to be there, in my opinion. So I need to see him do it again. Basically, that's where I'm at with it.
Let me ask y'all this though. Because you pointed something out. I mean, Luka is gonna ball out. That is without question. Those other guys on his team, it's hit or miss, right? Do you guys
Right.
think that one? Do you guys think that he needs more help? And if so, what help do you think he needs? And then two, do you think that Luka is the type of player that could have an all-star number two, and be able to share some of that spotlight with them? Or do you think Luka is just simply a relegator? He relegates guys to, catch and shoot, off ball scores.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead, Mark.
think. Yeah, I think, and we talked about it a little bit off mic, but I put Luka in a certain class of player. I put him, AI, to a certain degree before he went to the Lakers. Westbrook, like these are guys that are Hall of Fame players, transcendent, but they wouldn't thrive with another either 1A or 1B. I feel like they only work in the situation that they're in where they're the man. They can get their numbers. They'll have some success winning wise, but ultimately it's going to be hard for them to get it over the hump. I definitely don't think he would be good with a 1A or 1B, so I don't know, man. I think he's in that special group where it's like, nah, he has to be solo. And that's just what it's going to be for him. You know what I mean? If he does get over the hump, it may be later in his career on a chip run kind of vibe, but his numbers will be insane and he will be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Mark. I mean, if the guy's got to be playing with guys with a straight role mentality, he would turn any 1B into a straight role player.
Yeah,
he would relegate him. He's like with the relegator, like with that Denzel font. You know what I mean? Like starring Luka Doncic in The Relegator. You know what I mean? Like directed by Antoine Fuqua. That's all it's gonna be. He's gonna relegate any guy. Nobody's gonna be able to cook with Luka. And the reason why is because what is Luka gonna do? Just stand off to the side while you do that? Luka's not cutting. Luka's not setting no screens, right? Luka's not setting any back. He's not doing any backdoor cuts. Luka's not doing any of that. Luka will not do any of that. So what's a guy gonna do? Just dribble the ball around while Luka is just like standing there? It's not realistic. So just like James Harden.
What do you guys think about somebody
Luka,
like a Brad Bill? Don't need the ball to be super effective, but
something like that would be closer to working.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Similar to what he was with Porzingis, like a star that is okay taking a second, number two position.
Bradleyville has no problem.
Yeah,
letting someone drive his bus.
Paul George.
Let's be very clear.
You know what I'm saying? Brad Brill, Paul George, they might fit with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good, but I'm cool with being number two. I don't aspire for anything more.
I still think the uber quick aggressive guard fits with Luka. Like the one who doesn't take long to realize that he wants to attack. Yeah. I think a player like, and this is not like the sexiest player to name, ironically, because that's in his name, but Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like a guy like that, a guy like that who just, as soon as he gets the ball, he's going. He's putting pressure on the defense. Somebody like, because Luka likes to be methodical.
Right.
He likes to pick and choose. He likes to hunt out the matchups. If you got another guy who's just going 100 miles an hour, down your throat, out your neck, I think that type of guard can be successful with Luka, and it doesn't have to be a huge name. The problem is there's not many
Basically,
of
like the
those.
guy they just got rid of.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say that. No, that's no, absolutely not.
Brunson.
Because Jalen Brunson he's a floor general. He's not like an attacking guard like that. Jalen Brunson's natural. You're gonna keep cutting off my narratives, Black. You're gonna keep cutting off my narratives.
I'm just saying he put pressure on the defense is all.
Yeah, but he's not an attacker though. He's more of a game manager. He's a point guard. That's what he is. He's not like a scoring guard who's putting pressure on the D all night. You want to push back on that real quick or what?
No, I was just throwing that out there.
All right,
fellas.
In the midst of my narrative.
At the expense of your narrative.
Y'all, we're gonna have plenty of time for narratives to be had, especially with this next topic, y'all, because this gentleman came out with Luka, or his team. The team I'm getting ready to talk about, the leader of the team, came out in Luka's draft class. But let's talk about the Hawks, man. Are they moving the needle? Or are they for real? They have acquired Murray, DeJounte Murray this past year. So what y'all thinking about them, man? Are the Hawks for real or not? Leak, we start with you.
The Hawks, I do think the Hawks are a solid team. They're I think they're top 5 in the East right now, which is super early. So I mean, it don't really matter. Don't really mean much, but they look pretty good to me. They look like a team that's going to get better as time goes on. Yeah. And I can see them definitely competing with the upper echelon of the East if Trae Young is on it, if John Collins is playing his role, and if DeJounte Murray is thriving with the team, which it seems like all those things are on their way to happening. So I think they're legit.
Yeah, what you think, Black?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at their their team stats and stuff like that right now. I mean, I feel like we play this game every season with them where we either underrate or overrate them. But I do think that this season, especially with the acquisition of DeJounte, who really, I think he's a great co-star for a Trae Young. I do think that this is sustainable. I think that they have the ability to win some tough games against, some of the top teams on the East and kind of foil some plans for some guys in the playoffs, just based on the fact that Trae Young is already proven that there's no spotlight too great. I think with the acquisition of DeJounte, kind of takes some of that pressure off of him defensively. DeJounte is kind of reminding me of, he's in that Rondo. He's a more offensively gifted version of that, but he's in that Rondo category where he doesn't mind guarding your best perimeter guard. Matter of fact, he relishes that opportunity and pops off while doing it. So I like that backcourt. I think if John Collins remains happy and fed, him in addition to Capella and Hunter, I think they've got a pretty deadly lineup that could do some work come playoff time.
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think, let's not forget here, Ice Trae was John Morant before John Morant. I mean, let's just keep it 100. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. What was it, 2 years ago or a year or so ago, against Milwaukee, and actually, I think they won a couple games. So they have what it takes, and I think, like you're saying, Black, DeJounte really really helps Trae Young on what he was, his biggest shortcoming, which was
deficiencies.
On the his deficiencies. So I'm excited. I think it'll be good for the league. It's always good to have new teams kind of on the come up, and I want to see what the Hawks do, man. I'm kind of
Absolutely.
excited about it, especially in the East. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man. We'll see. Any other thoughts on the Hawks? Do they move the needle? I guess that's what I want to know. What do y'all think about?
I think they move the needle for me. I think it's very easy to sleep on them because
Mhm.
of where they're at right now. They're kind of in that middle of the pack lane.
Mhm.
But I think we'll see as we get closer to the end of the season that these guys are for real. They will have won some pretty big games, and I think they'll be in that same conversation with the Clevelands,
Mhm.
the Phillies, like some of those teams that are kind of
Right.
slow to start right now. Cleveland withstanding, but by the end of the season, they'll probably be in that same combo.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
I think the Trey Young and DeJounte Murray pairing, I think it is a success already. Trey Young is averaging like 27 and 9 or 10, and DeJounte is averaging 21 and 8.
Man.
So it seems like they're both feeling comfortable in the offense
Mhm.
and defense. That's something that gets better as the season goes on as far as team defense. DeJounte is already averaging like 2 steals a game, so he's already on top of it. So I think they are real, and that tandem is a success as of right now.
Yeah. Absolutely, fellas. Well, I want to talk about some of the forgotten soldiers, man. Since we just had Veterans Day, you know what I mean. So let's let's talk
That's
about
wild.
let's talk about some of the NBA veterans, man, especially the big men. We got Dwight Howard, who's going to be playing over in Taiwan. We had DeMarcus Cousins, who's begging his ex to take him back. Y'all, what's going on with the OGs in the league? Do we feel sorry for them? What are our thoughts on like a Dwight Howard or a DeMarcus Cousins that just can't seem to find a spot in today's NBA? Black, I'll start with you.
I think, man, I watched the video first and foremost, and I think we have the video of Dwight Howard announcing his signing to the Taiwan Tigers. This is not a
Yeah, that's
joke, folks.
that's crazy.
This is not a joke. All right. We're going to watch that video here shortly. And then I'll give you my thoughts.
If we locked in, ain't no switching up.
Man, I'm not sure if there's more than that. There's him arriving.
There's
I'm
an
gonna just read his
announcement.
caption.
Yeah, there's an announcement vid, but
I appreciate each and every one of the people that genuinely want to see me win. For anyone that has been a fan of me, real to me, and who has been loyal throughout my life, I want to say thank you. Let's stay locked in. My goal is to put smiles on people's faces all across the world and spread positivity. So being able to play the sport I love while accomplishing that goal is a blessing. Taiwan Superman is on the way. So yeah, so essentially, Dwight Howard is now officially a professional wrestler. No, and go ahead, Black, because I think you actually sent me a clip of Dwight, so I'm gonna get that clip real quick.
okay.
Actually, the specific one that you sent.
No, I think after watching this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I started going down a dark rabbit hole a little bit of thought, and it led me to like you said, DeMarcus Cousins. It led me to Isaiah Thomas. It led me to Carmelo Anthony. I feel like I'm just gonna come out and say it. The NBA does not care about its veterans. The NBA does not care about its ex stars. When you're on top, the NBA loves to put you on commercials, on advertisements, on highlights, on Sports Center. They love to use you when you're at your peak, when you're in your prime. But the moment you fall off, just a little bit, you're OTL. And we're seeing that with Dwight Howard. I cannot believe. I'm sorry. I know that Dwight Howard isn't the most likable player in the NBA. I know he's not. He's not what we were hoping he'd be when he was in Orlando. But I cannot believe that this guy, who, for all intents and purposes, should be top 75.
Yes.
I think a lot of people will argue that he should be top 75. I find it hard to believe that he can't find a roster spot in the NBA. Not one. Not a single team could use a Dwight Howard. Not one single team. I mean, this guy, he was an ambassador for the sport.
Yeah.
He won a dunk contest. He was always in a good mood, always all smiles, always willing to talk to the media. I think this is a bad look for the NBA, fellas. And I'm going to let you guys get in on this, but I cannot believe that Dwight Howard is not only OTL, but he's playing for the Taiwan Tigers. He's not even
Didn't even know that was a thing.
in Beijing. He's not even in Istanbul. You know what I mean? He's not in Spain playing for, Madrid.
Hell, Darusafaka. He's actually in Darusafaka.
This is a bad look for the NBA. And if I'm Adam Silver, I gotta be looking at this as a huge problem moving forward. These guys, they've given everything to the NBA. They've made it to the end of their career. They deserve a proper retirement plan. They deserve to make a roster, even if they're not going to be playing. I mean, hell, DeAndre Jordan's in the league. DeAndre Jordan has a roster spot. You mean to tell me Dwight Howard isn't better than DeAndre Jordan? I'll leave it up to you guys, man.
I'm going to go ahead and run the video real quick just so we can get a little bit of context as to Black's talking point. 1 second.
Taiwan, this is Dwight Howard, aka Superman, and I am so excited, and I can't wait to touch down in Taiwan and start playing for the Taiwan City Leopards. This is my 3rd time in Taiwan. I haven't been in so long. I can't wait to see the fans, eat the food, and have the best time ever and bring a championship to Taiwan City. Let's go. It's time to go, baby. Get up. I'll see you in Taiwan City, baby. Leopards, teammates. I can't wait to meet you guys, staff, everyone. I'm coming with open arms, with big hugs and big smiles. I love you.
He's really selling that thing, ain't he?
Man, it's almost sad, fellas.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, man. That's wild, man. I mean, what do I say to that? I mean, he the Negro looked Taiwanese in that video. Like, he started looking Taiwanese for a little bit. Look, I'm gonna keep 100, man. Yo, I ain't got no problem with it. I ain't got no problem with it, man. Look, man, you gotta go where you're wanted. All right, that's what I'm picking up. I think the Honorable Louis Farrakhan told that to Kyrie. Even, you know what I mean? You got to be where you want it, man, not where you tolerate it.
Right.
So,
right.
Dwight Howard, made a business move, an executive decision, even. You know what I mean? And decided to take his career in his own hands rather than leave it in the hands of someone else, whether if they want him or not. You know what I mean? Dwight Howard said, "I'll go get me a woman that wants me." All right, or whatever Dwight's into. You know what I mean? He'll go get the mate that wants him. All right,
the partner.
The partner, yeah, he'll get the partner that that desires him to be around. You know what I mean? So I got no problem with it. Dwight probably seen the success that he probably saw Taco Fall in the Chinese league. I think Taco Fall's in the Chinese league. Is he? Taco Falls.
I'm not sure.
Oh, Taco Fall's looking like Ip Man. Taco Fall is dominating. All right. I can't believe you guys didn't know that. Taco Fall is looking like he.
Come on, Lee.
Come on, Lee.
Come on.
No, he is. He's looking like bro.
I need
He's
highlight
looking
proof
goated.
now. I need highlight proof now.
I got you. Taco Fall is looking goated wherever he's at. I'm not even sure where he's playing at right now.
I'm weak.
It's somewhere far away, but Taco Fall is looking amazing right now. As a matter of fact, I got you right here. So this is what Dwight saw. I think that made him say, "All right, let me see what I can do."
Yeah.
Right.
身体能弄明白了啊！瞧这么大吗
Look at that.
这是
Looking
阿
like
特尔的
Victor
这个
Wembanyama,
绝对之一
Exactly right.
调得高一些。
Right. I mean,
但是他第一下没过去呢，你就产生不了这个小打大的距离感，
compression
这
pants.
就是
We've
还是
never
很
seen
拥
that.
挤的。
Yeah. Arm sleeve.
He's got in arm sleeve. He's got a whole nother level of confidence over there. Look at him.
Look at
He's
that.
literally
Seal.
look. He's dominating. Look,
Way. Yeah.
dominating.
Yeah.
I think that there's even a play where he's running the floor with the ball in his hand, like, and the crowd goes crazy when he makes these plays. You know what I mean? He's like Shaq over there, basically. You know?
Yeah.
So I think Dwight might have seen this and said, "All right,
This
I can
made
do
my
something
day."
like that in Taiwan, basically." Right.
Man.
But Lee, don't
So
you
yeah,
think,
Taco
man,
Fall is
don't-
looking
don't-
like a deity.
Don't you think though it's less of an indictment on Dwight Howard? He's doing what he has to do, right? I'm saying it's
Right.
more an indictment on the NBA not taking the care and proper respect of his fallen goats. You know, Dwight Howard was formerly Superman, right? Dwight Howard was formerly jumping over cars and wearing capes and dunking on people, right? grabbing stuff off the top of the backboard. Dwight Howard was entertaining us for years, man. And I just feel like it's sad to see that to end his career rather than, find himself on, a contender of some kind, whether he's getting minutes or not. That I don't think that's the issue. I don't think he has an issue with that. But rather than see that, we're seeing him go out on the Taiwan Leopards, man.
Black, I think you're right. And I think the NBA missed a great opportunity to partner, or at least what did they do in the political world when you endorse? There you go. To at least endorse the big three, which
you're podding now.
You know what I mean? Which
now you're getting into a bag.
Which seemed like a good kind of retirement home for those type of players that really still want to play, still have that passion to compete, but can't compete on the NBA level. And I think they missed the opportunity. I mean, Ice Cube has talked about how they really trying to get him out the market share. Like they don't even want him in that space. And I just think if the NBA would just simply endorse, they don't have to put their name on it, but just like, yeah, this is something we back, so to speak. I think that would just do exactly what you're saying they should do. And so it is unfortunate, man, to see Dwight Howard, like, especially people from our generation, y'all, we getting, late 30s and stuff. It's like, these are our guys that we watch come into the league. And now they just like, they playing in Taiwan. I mean, it's kind of like makes you feel old as the viewer. Right. But yeah, I think something like that would go a long way. So I think that you raise a good point on that, Black man.
So yeah, I can see if your brother was a cancer.
Right.
I can see if he was a cancer, unless you have some info that I don't know about.
Well, I'll just say this. Tell you? Brothers ain't chomping at the bit to add Dwight to their locker room. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
What have you heard?
For whatever reason, Dwight Howard is not the first guy that players are running to, acquiesce for a team to sign. All right, let's just say that. Let's just say that.
Nobody's making the call for Dwight.
Right.
Nobody's making the call. And listen, I saw the NBA pension plan. All right. Yeah, you don't feel bad for Dwight. All right. Don't feel bad for Dwight.
There we
Dwight
go.
is just fine. All right. I mean, Dwight's probably made. I mean, I can't say a number. Matter of fact, I'll get a number.
I think he was.
So Dwight.
Yeah. Go ahead, pull that up, Lee. I know as of last year, LeBron was the most paid tenured player, and Dwight was number 2 when they both were in the league
Mm.
last year.
Okay. So I'm looking it up right now. As far as NBA contracts, Dwight's made 200. He's on the books for $245 million over the course of his career. So
he's made plenty.
Listen, man, you can imagine how that man is living in Taiwan. All right.
Right.
He's looking like a deity in Taiwan. That's for
He's
sure.
looking like a deity in Taiwan. Absolutely. I mean, that guy's living scenarios. He's probably so excited because that house that he's getting built, and then plans that he checked off on them blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why he's so excited to live out there. So,
Mark, I do love.
He got it. Hey, he got him his partner, and they going off to Taiwan to live in as plush of an environment as you can imagine, with your little feeble American mind.
Mark, I love that idea though about the big three. I think we might have even talked about that off mic a couple seasons ago about how the NBA already has its G League. You know, we spoke on how they should hitch their wagon to that instead of going through the college system. The big three would be a great retirement plan for guys who aren't ready to hang it up, but also aren't getting minutes. You know what I mean? It would be a good opportunity for them. It's the prestige for me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, no knock on Taiwan, no knock on Dwight Howard for making that choice, but the optics just don't look great considering where he came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How we viewed him before. So that was all. That was all I was trying to say. But shout out to Dwight Howard, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We wish him the best. So we're gonna go from we're gonna go from that era of OGs to another era of OGs, and we're gonna be talking about MJ and Isaiah Thomas, big Isaiah Thomas, still beefing after all these years, man. You know, as a brother, you know, you hate to see it. You know what I'm saying? But boy, is it entertaining.
Listen, these are Negroes we supposed to be looking up to, right?
So man, Zeke doubled down. So let's get his quote exactly. I think Leek's pulling it up here. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, so I got a sportsillustrated.com, you know, old media. I got that link pulled up, and here's the quote from Isaiah Thomas, or some of it, I should say, because he did tweet out, "My full quote, don't shorten it or take it out of context. See below why." That's what Isaiah put for somebody quoting just a portion of what he said. So I'm gonna do that, Isaiah. Unfortunately, my bad. You know, that's just how the media works. We just take a piece of what you said and paint a narrative with it. So that's what we're about to do, Isaiah. So my apologies in advance. When I was watching The Last Dance, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it with my family, and I'm thinking everything is good, Thomas said. And then this guy comes on television and says he hates me. It says he hates me, and then calls me an asshole. And then I proceed to watch the whole documentary about him being an asshole. I'm like, wait a minute, time out. Until I get a public apology, this beef is gonna go on for a long, long time. Because I'm from the west side of Chicago. End quote. So that's what Isaiah said. What y'all think, man?
Black,
did Isaiah just bang on MJ?
It looks like it.
Isaiah
he
just
definitely pulled out his Chicago card.
He banged his set on MJ. Yo, I just think this is hilarious. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think this is hilarious. Listen, I don't condone brother on brother violence, right? I want to make that very clear for the audience. I don't condone two black men having hate in their hearts for each other. I don't condone that. But at the same time, these guys are beefing over hoop, and I think it's hilarious, man. That's the competitive nature of these guys.
Yeah.
We are 40 years removed almost from when they were competing at a high level on the court, and they still got hate in their heart for each other for stuff that happened back when they were playing. I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's why that era gets a lot of points from me. There is just so much animosity towards each other. There were no super teams. In today's time, MJ and Isaiah Thomas would have joined teams and went to South Beach, right? Not these guys, not in their primes, man. The story beef between MJ and Isaiah goes back to the Jordan rules, right? When they were being extra physical with MJ, not letting him get anything. You know, MJ beefed up, overcame that. We all know the story.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the story. But my question to y'all, though, is this. Does Isaiah have a point? Is MJ taking this a little too far? I mean, we know, we heard the stories about how MJ didn't want Isaiah Thomas on the USA Dream Team. Isaiah Thomas was more than qualified to be on that team, should have been on that team. If I was Isaiah, I would have been hot at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But is this something that Isaiah should be over by now, or is MJ continuously poking the bear? What do y'all think about that?
What you think, Lee?
So just for some context, I want to show MJ and Isaiah's head-to-head matchup, just so we can know. So they played 43 games against each other.
Wow.
And Michael's won 19 games. Isaiah's won 24. All right. Isaiah's averaged 21 and 9, and Michael's averaged 32 and 6. So and 5. So you know, these two have a very visceral playing history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and this is old school basketball, so the level of the competitive nature is extremely high and extremely volatile. Even, you know, you can't put these two guys in a room and close the door. Basically, you know, it's going to be some furniture moving. You know what I mean? In the words of Shannon Sharp. So I mean, you know, I think it's all fun and games for these two. I don't think they take it too serious. I think IT made a comment. You know, Michael Jordan might make a comment in 2 or 3 years from now, you know, saying a little something like, I love Isaiah, but, you know, we do have a competitive history. And the things that, you know, about, you know, him being mad about Team USA, they're just not true. I didn't intentionally leave him out of anything. That's probably what the narrative will be, right? And it will keep their beef relevant for the next 10 years again. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's really what this is. Isaiah can pull out the MJ card at any given moment and become relevant again. You know, whereas MJ doesn't need Isaiah to become relevant. So that's what I think this is really about. I think it's Isaiah wanting to throw his name back in the pot so that way he can get in some news headlines. Because why is he just now saying this? Why didn't he say when Scottie Pippen was airing his grievances out, right? And everybody was airing their grievances out on Mike. Where was Isaiah at then? You know what I mean? When it was
like, did
open
he
mic
just watch
season,
it? Did he just watch the
doc? There was an open mic season, and Isaiah chose to stand down. And now all of a sudden, you know, this guy wants to bloviate to some, you know, third party, you know, hoop site. You know, we're not having it. And look, quite frankly, you know, Isaiah, that beef is about 50 years old. It's gonna stay where it's at, man, and you're gonna do your part to keep it there. So.
See, I hear
feel like Skip Bayless with my seat hopping.
Yeah. Man, for me, I think I'm on the other end of it because I feel for Zeke, man. Like, from watching his interview with Magic Johnson, I learned that, dude, he's a very emotional dude, man. Like, he really, the tears were sincere. He doesn't like not being liked. And then I saw some behind the scenes clips of the 75th anniversary thing where it's like Magic is in between. Magic's, you know, dapping up Mike in the line, and Isaiah is like kind of just like, he's still friends with Magic, but he's hurt that's like Magic's cool with Mike still. And I could feel it. You know what I mean?
Because he couldn't join that circle.
He couldn't join in.
Circle, basically. Right.
And so I think
that's tough, man.
Yeah, I think that's over time he gets re-hurt, you know, with different narratives that come up. This was
he can't go into that room.
He can't go into the room.
He can't go into the room with MJ.
Yeah. And I was actually watching John Sally on Shannon Sharp's podcast recently, and he was asked about it. and he illuminated to how not only was Mike wanting to keep and people wanting to keep Isaiah out the room for the Dream Team, the league was literally trying to push this Utah Jazz, Stockton Malone is the new thing narrative at that time too. So they said we got to get Stockton in here because we want to push this black white friendship narrative for the league. You know what I mean? Stern was on his, yeah. Stern was in his bag. Yeah. So it's just unfortunate for Zeke because he's just on the outside looking in. But man, he was a great player. Like he deserves to be in the same room with these guys, man. So I kind of feel for him, to be honest with you. But I do agree. This seemed very random. This seemed like, bro, why are you just now bringing this up? So I'm kind of,
Mark,
man.
Isaiah had a nasty competitive nature.
He did.
And a mean competitive streak. And it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I'll tell you that. He was that guy that when he was losing, he'd pick up his ball and walk off the yard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And tell y'all, if y'all want to play, come get it then. You know what I mean? To tell y'all that. He's the type that would launch the ball, into the water, after, he can't buy a basket, basically. So I think that energy, people still remember that. People don't forget how you make them feel. They may forget what you say, but now you make them feel. And I think Isaiah might have made a lot of people feel there's a lot of people feel crunchy back in his heyday when he was thriving,
Yeah. It's a good point, Lee. That's a good point. Black, what you think? Any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, I would imagine that Isaiah's impact on the NBA in that time is very akin to Chris Paul today. This is the player that everybody loves to hate. So I could definitely see Isaiah being that type of dude. And if he rubbed the wrong guy the wrong way. Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as that. Yeah. MJ is a made man in the NBA. But I would love for them to both have a sit down talk with Louis Farrakhan and hash it out, though, at the end of the day, so we can get that love going. So our community can get some love going in it. You know what I mean?
Man, I love that, man. I like that transition too, Black, because we're going to be talking about some things that's going on right now with the NBA players trying, to have the back of one of their own. We're talking about Kyrie Irving and the hot water he's been in recently. The NBA players are kind of starting to speak out on this list of things that he needed to do to get back on the court. And so let's get into that. Let's get into some of the quotes. And I definitely want to hear what you guys think. When it comes to topics like this, I have a couple group chats or whatever, but this group chat, these fellas right here, I'm always interested to hear what their thoughts are on topics like this, man, because it's always very enlightening and very intellectual. So let's get to it, fellas. What are we thinking about players standing with Kyrie Irving following the controversy he was in?
So I got the Jaylen Brown quote. If you want me to read that real quick, Black, and then, or what were we gonna say, Black?
I just wanted to preface this whole topic by stating last week, we kind of tongue-in-cheekily avoided this conversation. We hesitated, right?
We hesitated
for obvious reasons. I mean, this is a very hot button topic that, if taken the wrong way, could offend people. And if you offend the wrong people, you lose everything. So, we went into last week playing it close to the vest. But I do think it's important for us to have an open and authentic conversation about what's going on, especially within our community, because, that's who we're talking to here on No Hezi, right? So I just want to preface this topic by saying, we just want to have a dialogue about, what we're seeing and how we're feeling about what's going on. So, Leak,
get to these quotes.
Absolutely. So this is Jaylen Brown on the initial statement release about Kyrie's multi-step plan to getting back on the court. And Jaylen Brown says, "I told you guys that I don't believe in sharing hurtful information, and I'll continue to." I'm sorry.
This is LeBron James.
Wow. I'm mistaking one black man for the next. Look at me.
Are y'all gonna share your thoughts on Bron's information at some point though?
I definitely think that was important to this for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we'll definitely be coming back to that.
While you're looking that up, Leak. Sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead.
I just want to kind of give a timeline, right? So about 3 weeks ago, Kyrie posted a link to a documentary that he found on Amazon, right? In doing so, that incensed some people, a certain community of people, whom shall in this case remain nameless. But this community was so enraged that immediately they went on the offensive, assassinating Kyrie's character, labeling him anti-Semitic, labeling that post to be endorsing hate speech, misrepresenting who Kyrie was as a person. The media followed suit after that and essentially went in on Kyrie, talking about other topics that he'd been involved in the past, i.e., the anti-vax sentiments that he expressed during COVID, the flat Earth conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So they really went on all points bulletin in on Kyrie and his character, following up with the NBA suspending Kyrie for what they said was 5 games, but really has been indefinite up
Minimum
to
of 5 games. Yeah.
right.
They then released a list of demands that they wanted him to accomplish before returning back to the NBA to essentially make.
I got those demands right here. If you want to read those off, like.
So they dropped the list of demands on Twitter. They wanted Kyrie to apologize / condemn the movie, pay $500K donation to anti-hate causes, which he did beforehand, and they denied. They want him to attend sensitivity training, to attend anti-Semitic training, meet with ADL Jewish leaders, meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate understanding.
It's a whole lot, man.
And again, I want to reiterate that he posted a documentary that he found on Amazon.com that anyone can find on Amazon.com, mind you, called From Hebrews to Negroes. And if you'd like to find it, it's on Amazon.com. So yeah, we can get into the quote from Jaylen Brown.
All right, I appreciate that rundown, Black.
Yeah.
So this is from Jaylen Brown. He says, "I don't believe Kyrie Irving is anti-Semitic." He says it cleanly. The terms for his return, they seem like a lot, and a lot of the players expressed discomfort with the terms. He made a mistake. He posted something. There was no distinction. Brown goes on to discuss how this is uncharted territory as far as the quote-unquote promotion and whether somebody promotes something by posting it or not. So this is something that they're going to be discussing with the NBA PA, I believe. NBPA, excuse me. So yeah, those are the quote from Jaylen Brown. And a lot of players, I mean, a lot of talking heads have followed suit from Jaylen Brown's initial stance. Jaylen Brown was the first person to not publicly condemn Kyrie. He was the first person to say, "I don't believe Kyrie Irving is anti-Semitic," and that the terms are a lot. This is a lot, to have him meet with so-called Jewish leaders. You know what I mean? To have him pay a 500 donate 500K. That's what it says. Donate. And then to have him go through sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training.
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah. and then to meet with his quote unquote owner to display understanding,
Right.
man, that's not a good look. That's not a good look. A lot of talking heads, now that they've been empowered by Jaylen Brown, they have referred to this as some sort of buck breaking. Even all right, we've had Stephen A. come out. We've had Jason Williams, another talking head, come out. I'm not sure if Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, he's come out. All these guys want to stand up for a brother now, which it's bittersweet because it's like, where were y'all at initially? When this story first broke out, nobody was taking the position of, well, yeah, he posted a link and you can't post something that has those types of tropes, but we don't believe this is Kyrie's character. Kyrie didn't say anything anti-Semitic. So to put that label on him is disrespectful. And like Kyrie said, because he knows who he is, he's going to disassociate himself from any labels that you guys place on him. And no talking heads wanted to follow suit in that due to their personal feelings about Kyrie and possibly them even needing to keep some sort of good standing with their handlers. So I'm gonna pull up. Like, you wanted to get Stephen A. commenting on it, right?
Well, Leak, if we could go to the Shaq and Chuck comments first.
That was kind of the catalyst.
So we could see what the reaction was right after Kyrie posted the documentary.
Yeah, absolutely. And should we just let that little clip run or what?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that it's that segment of that show. I don't think there's any.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that thing.
This was the initial reaction from our brothers and sisters to Kyrie.
Right. All right. So yeah, and it's tough to see this, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it, y'all.
Friedel the other night game, and look, if he's thing out of the word promotion, that is promotion. If on your social media you say, boom, here's a link to this, that tells me, hey, you should watch this.
And I notice how Ernie is basically telling Shaq and Charles what to say.
Million Instagram, another 5 million.
Sorry, Ernie,
jumping it off.
Yeah,
you're all over social media. Do you ever put something out there, Shaq?
Look what type of question is that? Of course, Shaq has it, right? He wouldn't be sitting next to you, Ernie, if he did.
And when I realized the power it had, I knew I had to be very responsible. Followers, platform, whatever you call it, I knew I had to be responsible. I try to make people happy. I try to make people smile. My formula has always been the same: 60% to make you laugh, 30% to inspire you, and 10% whatever I'm selling. You have to be aware of what you're doing, and you have to be aware that sometimes when you put stuff out, not everybody's gonna like it. Some people are conscious, some people are not. I could tell he's not conscious. He doesn't really care what's going on. But us, I know that the game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done. I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I could say shalom, salam alaikum, ni hao, sebon, because that's how I was raised. So I don't really want to sit up here and answer questions for what he's done. If you're looking at me, it's my job to make people happy. I can't speak for him and, answer for what he's doing. It's obviously by his answers and the way he answers, he doesn't really care.
Chuck,
I think the NBA dropped the ball.
In what way?
I think he should have been suspended. I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion. If you're going to insult me, you have the right, but I have the right to say, no, you're not going to take my $40 million and insult my religion. I think the NBA, they made a mistake. We have suspended people and fined people who have made homophobic slurs, and that was the right thing to do. I think if you insult the black community, you should be suspended or fined heavily, depending. I saw they did the same thing to the kid in Minnesota this year when he made the gay slur. I think you should get suspended or fined. I think him acknowledging the Alex Jones thing should have happened with that too, because that dude's crazy. And I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot. And when you say, if I say, hey, I'm agreeing with
Spit
this
it out,
movie,
Chuck.
this book or whatever,
Right.
I'm agreeing with it. I'm not going to first of all, you know I don't do any social media, but when you're somebody as great as basketball like him, people going to listen to you what you say.
Barkley sounds drunk.
And there's some fringe people out there.
Yeah.
But like I say, I blame the NBA. He should have been suspended.
And their conversations are continuing with the Brooklyn Nets,
It's too
with
late
the NBA,
now.
but they're also looking at, they're looking
No.
at how do we move forward at this so we don't
too
go
late
through
now.
this again. No, it's not too late to say,
Ernie,
how do we prevent
Ernie,
this?
th-
It's
th-
not
th-
I
too
think
late.
Kenny
But
has
I see-
somewhat of a
I see-
neutral
hold on, I wanna
stance.
say
Let's,
this.
let's
Kenny
see
was
what I
neutral.
can't
It's too
remember.
late. The NBA is giving in to peer
Notice
pressure.
Kenny
Right.
doesn't want to hop
When-
in there.
if
You know what I
some-
mean?
if
Like,
one
because
of
he
our
knows his
players
stance
do
is more
something,
neutral,
they have the
and that's
right,
not the current
team
energy going on right now.
or
Yeah,
or the
Barkley
league has to do
currently is
something immediately.
condemning Kyrie.
If you
right?
just give in to peer pressure,
Charles Barkley is
that's the
performing
problem I
hate
have.
speech
This
against
should have been
Kyrie
handled
Irving right now.
already.
Kenny, let's get into this. Go ahead.
Well, firstly, if we're going to take what he says on a Twitter, we have to take everything he says. So
Right.
if I'm going to take everything he says, I'm going to believe that he doesn't support or any of the views or promote the views of it. He said it right in my face. I have to accept that. So I will believe that. There are people in this world who's done, in their art, have done great things, that have said crazy things, that we still listen to their music, we buy their paintings, we do their things, and you might take an excerpt of that and say, I believe in this. Okay, so I'll take that as it may from Kyrie Irving. But I also believe that the reporter did have a right to ask the question.
Oh, sure.
That's it. So, and that's really where the argument began. You don't have a right to ask me that question. I do believe that. And based on this, for Kyrie, is that he has put himself as, he says, I'm the voice for some of the speechless when doing the COVID. So now he has transcended from basketball and became an activist politically. So you will ask him that question based on some things that you may read. But I have to believe him also when he tells me, that is, if I'm going to believe parts of it, I have to believe the totality.
Look at Ernie wanting to interject.
I just
Right.
think
Yeah, we can stop
Kyrie's
it
just
right
part
here.
of this. I
All
mean,
right. Hey, also,
why
real
are these
quick,
brothers
also-
so scared? Did you guys? Am I the only one who felt that? Like watching that,
Hey,
they seem so scared to speak on this topic.
Yeah.
One more thing
tell.
I want to put up real quick to go in context is that this also came out recently. So Shaquille
My bad for
O'Neal
cutting you
is
off
the
too,
owner. No, it's good. It's good. Shaquille O'Neal is the owner of Cityplex 12 in 2012, and they in 2019, Cityplex 12 did offer showtimes for Hebrews and Negroes. So
That's that 30% he was talking about.
So yeah. So Shaq's Theater basically promoted and showed, not only promoted, but invited people and made money off of people coming in to watch Hebrews and Negroes. So Shaq is actually he's made money off of. Not
He
only
capitalized
has Shaq promoted it, but
off
Shaq
of it.
capitalized off of it. All right?
Nah, I think the craziest thing too, fellas, is like, one, why feel the need to say anything? Like, I forget who said it, but it was like, it was a comedian talking about like the whole Jesse Smollett thing, and they were saying, he was just, Smollett was like, nobody supported me, nobody spoke up for me, and it was like one of the comedians like, well, we didn't say anything. That was our way of supporting you. Like, so even if you're not gonna like jump out the gate and have Kyrie's back, so to speak, why can't you just do more like a Jaylen Brown and say, I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for when I get more information. Then I'll speak,
Right.
or then I'll have more educate. But it seemed like these guys, pretty much because of Ernie too, were forced to, like, you got to have an opinion, and
You
then
got to take a side.
yeah, you got to take a side right now. And it's like we saw even Kenny was like, a little more reserved, but he felt like I got to say something. You know what I
He's
mean?
walking
It's
on
like,
eggshells.
yeah, it's like we don't always have to say something if it means we're going to beat down the person. Like, why does it have to be the knee jerk, especially in our communities? Like, man, I'm just going to just lay into him because I feel that's what they want. That's what folks want me to do. And it's just like, it's unfortunate. And then the second thing that stood out to me is the fact that the list was leaked, fellas. That this could have been, if that's what Kyrie had to do to get back on the court, that could have been an in-house thing that only Kyrie knew he had to do.
Right.
But they strategically put that in, leaked it to whatever reporter, whatever aggregate hoop site.
Shams or whatever his name is, right?
Yeah.
Shams, because they wanted everyone to see. Yeah. We want everybody to, there we go. We want everybody to see what he has to do. This is what we're going to put him through in order for him to. So I think there's a conversation. Like, why did they have to do it that way? You know what I mean? So
I can answer that for you, because whatever he posted galvanized the community that it was targeted, or not even targeted towards, but who took offense to it, and put out the word that Kyrie was on a no-fly list. It's that simple. So they made it to where you either are for what we're talking about or you're against it. And these brothers know how their bread's buttered. I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at that. They're not trying to lose their jobs talking about Kyrie Irving, so he's an idiot to them, right?
Right.
Like you said, Mark, they didn't have an opportunity to not say anything. They were pretty much forced to speak on it.
Yeah.
Why? Because in media, they have us on payroll so that we could specifically speak about these issues, right? So that they could look like they're diverse and that they care about these issues, when in reality they know that they can make us talk about whatever they want us to talk about. And we're seeing that with this situation. One thing I do want to point out, Leak, before I let you unload, is what did Kyrie do? What did Kyrie actually do to garner that type of reaction from Chuck and Shaq? What did Kyrie do to garner the dubbing of anti-Semite or a hateful person? Because listen, I don't agree with everything Kyrie says. I don't believe in everything Kyrie believes in. But from what I've seen from the brother, he does not seem like a hateful person.
Not at
and
all.
I think everybody could agree with that at this point. That being said, what did he do that garnered that type of reaction from people?
I think it was on the heels of the whole Kanye thing. Like Chappelle said yesterday, Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble. Like, it was just everybody was on edge with this kind of stuff. And I think he got the worst of it, even though he didn't even really, I mean, come on, nothing he did garnered to be called an idiot on national television by another brother. Like, to me, that's just ridiculous. I don't want to hear your backtrack after something like that. But go ahead, Lee. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, man, y'all making some great points. This is how I would assess the Kyrie Irving posting the link situation, and then him being deemed something after that pretty much just obliterates his legacy and everything he stands for by labeling him a word. All right. So Kyrie posted a link, and then from there, because of what that link contained, or not even all of it, because of what a piece of that link contained, he was deemed hateful and anti-Semitic. And now the thing is, you can go to a guy like Thomas Jefferson, who is recognized extremely high in our society. Even given props for founding electricity, right? Is that what he's
That's Edison.
notable for? Edison. Okay. I forgot what Jefferson is. One of the guys who wrote the Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a
I think
president.
Jefferson's he's a president. Yeah, he's a founding father, even I believe, isn't
Yes.
He's
Yes.
got a coin.
he? He's got a coin. So if you spend a coin that has Jefferson's face on it, then you would be anti-black because Thomas Jefferson did own slaves. So if you promote Thomas Jefferson in any manner, you can be deemed anti-black and lose all your platforms. So let me see somebody post Thomas Jefferson in any manner, a quote from him, a bill that he wrote, a link, spend a dime with his name, with his face on it. Anything you do that has Thomas Jefferson attached to it, you know what I mean? You got to go. That would be the equivalent, and that's not right. People don't do that. That's not a normal thing in our society. We don't look at J.P. Morgan Chase and say, if you bank there, if you hold your money there, then you're anti-black because J.P. Morgan Chase owns slaves. They insure slaves. So if you bank there, you'll be anti-black, and you should lose everything that you have. It just doesn't make sense. So, that's how I would equate Kyrie posting a link from that video and then trying to throw all of the tropes onto him and label him something. It's just not right. And they only do that to people that look like us. And that's just the honest truth. The media does that only to people that look like us. Anybody else can post about all these great Americans that have owned slaves in some way, shape, or form, and they're not deemed anti-black or that they're promoting hate speech. So it's just really interesting. But I got to give flowers to Kenny Smith. I think that's been missed in all of this.
Yeah.
Nobody's mentioned Kenny Smith. He stood there on that platform and said, if we're going to believe what the doc says, then we got to believe everything of what Kyrie says. And Kyrie said he has no hate for anybody. He's not anti-Semitic. He accepts all walks of life, all creeds, all religions. He's basically said, come on in. You know what I mean? That's what Kyrie Irving said. And Kyrie sounded more sincere when he said that than a lot of these talking heads that try to repeat those sentiments on their platforms. So, I like when Kenny said that. If you're gonna talk about one thing he said, you got to talk about everything he said. If you're gonna believe one part he said, you got to believe everything he said. And he didn't even say anything. He just posted something. So that's how I would look at it all. But it is interesting and powerful to see a lot of people come to Kyrie's aid. It does have somewhat of a sour taste because a lot of these guys did promote the media's propaganda and attack on Kyrie Irving. And now all of a sudden, once one person articulates their stance very well, Jaylen Brown, once he articulated his stance very well, left no flesh exposed to be targeted with his statement. It was completely covered. It was armored. It was foolproof. You couldn't deem him a hate speech lover or anti-Semite lover based off of what he said.
Right.
So I think that once he showed, okay, this is how you would defend Kyrie if you felt like he was getting this short end of the stick. And a lot of guys took suit and followed up with that. So it's an interesting dynamic, but we'll see how this continues to go. But I just wanted to say Shaquille O'Neal is he's a Shaq-sized hypocrite right now.
Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely. I also want to add this as well. A lot of people threw blanket labels on Kyrie and the documentary, right? But I didn't hear anyone in the media mention the documentary. Again, I'll do that. It is From Hebrews to Negroes by Ron Dalton, right? I didn't hear anybody mention. I didn't hear anybody mention Ron Dalton Jr. Right? And then I didn't hear anyone actually mention the contents of the documentary. People immediately heard that it was anti-Semitic and just brushed over the contents and the information behind it and just ran with that narrative. So I do think it's important to, before we condemn, right, before we start throwing labels on people that could potentially ruin their careers and ruin their lives, to do our own research, not go based off what somebody told us it was, but actually do the work ourselves and judge for ourselves whether or not that was something that was hateful or something that you would consider to be information that's pertinent for your life. And I feel like that's with anything. But specifically in this case, I just feel like there were a lot of labels thrown out there without people doing their own due diligence. And I mean, we know why, right? Like you said, Lee, because that only happens when you look like Kyrie Irving and us, so.
Yeah, man. I think
And,
you guys go ahead,
Mark, I want to throw one more thing out there before we move on.
Okay.
This is a dense subject, so
yes,
you can take as long as you can breathe. You can kind of go in on this. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna share another link. I got to do it. Since we playing this game, since we wording things like this. This is whitehousehistory.org. All right. I didn't make this website up. I didn't create this. I have not purchased a domain name by the name of whitehousehistory.org. I'm just going along with what I'm reading and researching, like Kyrie's promoting everybody to do themselves as well. Slavery in the President's Neighborhood. So this is an article on slavery in the White House. And let's see. Here we go. Which U.S. presidents owned enslaved people? According to surviving documentation, at least 12 U.S. presidents were slave owners at some point during their lives. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson on the $10 bill, right?
He's on something. Yeah, he's on something.
One of them, yeah. Mark Van Buren, William. Hey, that's why we so broke as a people, because we don't even. No, I'm just playing. Mark Van Buren. We don't even know who won the money. William Henry Harrison. I'm just playing, y'all. That was me joking. James Polk, Zachary Taylor, Andrew Johnson, and Ulysses Grant. So this is saying that these people owned at some point during their lives. Look at this. Which presidents relied on enslaved labor at the White House? According to surviving documentation, at least 9 presidents either brought with them or hired out enslaved individuals to work at the White House. Well, you don't hire out enslaved people, right? I mean, these people can't say, no, I don't want that. I don't want that job. You know what I mean? Or, you know what, I'll take the job, but I need the first week off. These people do not have the right to negotiate. All right.
Right.
So
how much am I getting per hour?
Right. Yeah. What's the minimum wage for a slave? You know what I mean? Like those are questions that would come up at the interview for this, since they're hiring out. You know what I mean? It's slave workers. So Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. Listen, the U.S. presidency is anti-black. If you mention the U.S. presidency to me in any way, shape, or form of a positive nature, I'm going to deem you anti-black, and I'm going to try to get your platforms removed. And I'm going to come up with a 6-step program you have to show me and complete a side quest in order for us to deem you fit to make further public opinions. Because the U.S. presidency is anti-black. It's owned slaves. It's hired out slaves where they did not have the option whether they wanted to work or not. So since we're doing this association game off of one point of somebody's career or life or a post or a tweet, right? U.S. presidency is anti-black, and I stand on that, all right? I stand on that. And I want somebody to come and prove to me why the U.S. presidency is not anti-black when they owned and hired out, with no option, by the way, slaves. And we know who those slaves were. They look like Kyrie Irving, all right?
Man, this is definitely a deep combo, man. We definitely gonna keep an eye on this one.
We lost some listeners with this episode.
Hey, man,
you gotta be able to follow the logic on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
really do.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're gonna do like a hard turn. We're definitely gonna be circling back and keeping an eye on this topic because I don't think it's over. But we're gonna do a hard turn and lighten the levity a bit. We're going to be talking about the new NBA city jerseys, and we're going to talk about what we think. I thought some of these looks were really dope. It Is this? I got to ask y'all. Is this something that that they switch up every year?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they've done one of these each year, at least since Nike's been back at the helm for jerseys.
Okay. So what's the standouts here, y'all? Which ones y'all liking and which ones y'all hating? I guess we can do it that way.
I'm
Let me see.
instantly
Man.
rocking. I'm instantly rocking with the Houston joints off top.
Let me see.
I always
Yeah.
loved the classic pinstripe blue, red, white, silver jerseys when going back to Steve Francis. So
I think that's Mario Ellie's jersey actually with the 17. With that,
Well,
the goon guard himself.
I really like that colorway a lot.
Yeah. I'm digging the Miami.
Man.
Miami's always a good time. I like that.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Okay,
Miami looking psychotic with the letter fonts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Real TikTok.
It's giving Dahmer. It's giving Dahmer. You know.
Heath Ledger.
It's giving cereal. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean? Right.
Mindhunter.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll
I
tell you which ones I'm not feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling Sacramento's jerseys.
Really?
Like Sacramento has one job. Every year, Sacramento has one job. Give me the 2000, 2001, 2002 throwback jersey.
Yeah.
Give me that.
Yeah.
They always trying to get cute and create a whole
the joint with the Kings on it, right? The joint with the Kings on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They always trying to create a new fan favorite. Years ago, they had the little gold 6-man jersey.
Yeah. Nah.
Like, just stick with the colorways that work, man. I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate it.
I'll give you that, and I'll see you. Yeah. I'll see you the Bucks jersey. That's a hard no for me. I'm not digging that up in that top right. Is that Bucks up there, top right corner?
Nah, that's Golden
under the no hezzy.
That would be the.
That's Golden
That would be
State.
Yeah, Golden State.
Yeah, that's Draymond. Yeah, that's I'm not feeling that one.
Yeah, that's trash. That is trash.
All
right,
I do like the.
Sorry, Lee.
I can't even get a jersey out, man. Go ahead. Like, man, all I want to do is say what jersey I like. You know what I mean? Apparently, it don't matter. All right.
I'm not rocking with you today.
Go ahead, Black man. What you got, man?
No, I was just gonna say maybe it would be easier for us to just go down the line and give our takes on the jerseys.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Who wants to start?
You go. You started off.
Oh. Is that right? I have the floor.
I didn't like your comments on Andrew Jackson. All right, so I'm trying to.
So you silenced me.
I'm trying to hush you.
You were. All right. So Atlanta, I think that's nice. It reminds me of that. It's the Peachtree kind of theme. Reminds me of the show Atlanta or the rolling credits on a lot of TV shows. Celtics jersey doesn't move the needle. It's pretty bland. Brooklyn, it's pretty bland as well. Even though it has some flair, they've kind of been doing this already. Charlotte, that's interesting, but that CLT, I'm not feeling that. What is the
Is that the abbreviation for them? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, it's supposed to be CHA, but they're trying an alternative abbreviation. I like the colors, but I'm not feeling that CLT. That's just weird to me. Chicago's is fire. Cleveland's is decent. Dallas is fire. Denver is decent. Houston, I like that. Pacers, I like that. LA, I like that with the font around the colors around the LA font.
That's the
Lakers,
Clippers, right?
Yeah, it's the Clippers. The Clippers, yeah.
Those are kind of hard. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah. The Lakers. That's pretty nice. Memphis, I like that. Miami, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Thunder. It looks pretty much what they usually do. Orlando looks like a normal Orlando jersey, right?
Right. No changes.
Portland, that's interesting. Portland is interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I honestly really like that colorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. It's like Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, man. We don't see that often. Not even in like any sport action. That's like a hockey, kind of like a San
Yeah.
Jose Sharks kind of thing,
Sharks.
almost
Right.
with brotherly love. Phoenix, that's interesting too.
Yo,
Sacramento,
that Philly jersey
I
is
wouldn't.
trash.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I wouldn't say Sacramento's is great, but it's not horrible. But it just like why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Spurs one, that one's pretty interesting. Toronto looks like a normal Toronto jersey.
Mhm.
Washington, I don't know what they were thinking with that.
That's
What
terrible.
is
That's
that,
just
pink?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I think a more efficient way, since I already went, I think we could I think I can mention the jersey, and then from there, y'all both just go back to back on it, and then we'll just keep it moving down the line. Because I think you probably could have did it like that the first way.
Okay.
So what do y'all think about this Atlanta joint?
Feeling that one for sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Celtics.
Celtics.
Mid.
I don't like that dark green.
Yeah. What about Brooklyn? Go ahead, Mark. My bad.
I'm feeling the Brooklyn joint. I like that.
Yeah.
It's got it's giving Basquiat. You know?
Yeah.
The Basquiat font. Right.
Yeah.
I rock with
Absolutely.
it. It's
cool. Mark, Charlotte.
No, I don't like the CLT. I do like the pinstripe kind of, but they do that anyway. So, yeah.
Black.
I'm rocking with them. I can't front. I don't understand the CLT, but that's not going to ruin the rest of the jersey for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors.
Word.
I like the pinstripes, and obviously the Jordan insignia doesn't hurt. Right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Right. Mark, Chi-Town.
I like the Chi-Town. It kind of stays true to the original, so I like that.
Black.
Yeah, that looks like the OG, like MJ's first run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when he got drafted.
Yeah, the 80s. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The land is
Mark,
dope. I like
Cleveland.
that one. I like that one too. That's a good one.
Everything looks good when you're playing well, so I'll go with those as a positive too.
Yeah.
Mark, Dallas.
Dallas just seems throwback to me. I love that one, man. I like that.
All right, Black.
I'm not rocking with it. I don't like the font, the
Wow.
Dallas font. I don't like the Dallas font. I'm sorry.
We might have to silence you for that opinion, man.
Yeah.
You got your own little trope going on there, you know. Mark, Denver.
I like the Denver. I definitely like the Denver. Detroit.
Yeah, that's the little Abdul Mahmoud Rauf.
Right. That's the cancel edition. Right.
Yeah. I'll rock with that. That's the Dikembe joint.
Right. Mark, Detroit.
Horrible. That's probably the worst one for me.
I'm lost.
Black.
I'm lost.
Right. Yeah, I didn't give an opinion on that one, but yeah, that is crazy. I don't know what's going on with that either.
Isaiah Thomas drafting up a comment right
now. I don't like the Warriors jersey. That's probably second worst.
Okay. Yeah. Black.
Well, my question is, how are you even supposed to see the little flower part when they tuck in their jerseys?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would consider this. I would consider this jersey like those anime button-ups that people used to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just extremely tacky. Tacky.
Basura.
Mark. Yeah, right. Mark, Houston.
Loving that one. Loving the Houston jersey.
Yeah, I got no qualms with that. I got no qualms with the Houston joint.
All right.
Pacers,
Mark,
I don't like.
Indiana.
I don't like the Pacers. I prefer the hickory joints. Give me those.
I like those too. Yeah, I like those too. Black.
I'm not mad at these. It's kind of like it's scary vibes. You know what I mean? Like very fearsome with the color palette. So I'm not mad at it.
Love the Clippers jersey. That may be the.
Yep.
Yeah, that might be one of the top ones for me. I like that one.
Man, it would sure be nice to see Kawhi Leonard in one of those.
Mark, LA.
Lakers. I'm not a huge fan of.
You're not gonna give me that link. You're not gonna give me it.
No, I can't give you that.
I'm not a huge fan of anything not original when it comes to the Lakers for some reason. I'm just not. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way. Trash.
Memphis looks pretty good. I could rock with Memphis. That one's pretty solid.
Man, they were just wearing these the other night. playing Minnesota, and they look dope. I ain't gonna front.
That's
They
a
look
good
nice
look,
on the
huh?
court.
Yeah.
They look dope on the court.
Mark, Miami. You already kind of mentioned you like this one, right?
Yeah, I like that one. I definitely rock with that one.
Okay. Black.
It's a no for me. I can just see Tyler Hero in the bathroom of a supermodel's house going up off the powder or something like that. I'm not rocking with it.
Wearing one of those, yeah.
Yeah, with no shirt on.
Mark, right, yeah. Mark, with some above the knee shorts. Mark,
right.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I like the Milwaukee one. It's nice, man. Give me Luau Cinder vibes for some reason.
Yeah. Okay. Black.
No, I'm not rocking with it. I don't like the color. The color flip.
Okay. Mark, Minnesota.
Yes, I like that color for me. I like that. I like that one.
Okay. Mark, Black.
Yeah, I like it, but I'm trying to figure out what it has to do with the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Like some of these flips, I'm just like lost.
Yeah, like what's the inspiration behind it? Like,
right.
It feels like the Minnesota baseball team colors to me. I could be wrong.
Like the Twins?
The Twins. Does it give me Twins or something different?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It has to have some relevance.
Yeah, overall, relevant or not, it is mid.
Okay. All right, Thunder.
Mark, the Thunder jersey.
Thunder look regular to me, just a different color.
Okay. Yeah. Black.
I'm not rocking with it either.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, hey, you know what? That's wild because usually a black jersey with these type of like accent colors, with the blue or the red, like usually that goes over pretty well. You know what I mean? So it just shows how worn out we are. The Thunder's like, tactics as far as like loud jersey colors.
Yes,
and, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, all these alternate versions that they have. We're just kind of over that. We're kind of over that narrative at the point, right?
Yo, the Thunder have been in existence for like 5 seasons, and they've already had like 30 jerseys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like we've seen it all.
Orlando looks regular to me. Not moving the needle.
Yeah, I think they're banking on Banchero.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll keep it at that.
Absolutely. Can you blame them at this point? Right?
Nah,
right.
You can't.
Mark, Portland.
The Portland one stole the show for me. It was on most of the social media stuff I was seeing. To me, that's the best one. The PDX is a little weird. I mean, what does the X mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't get the X,
sure,
but the color is dope. The jersey is phenomenal. Aside from that,
I believe that's what their airport abbreviation is. PDX, I believe.
Okay.
But I think these are hard. Mm-hmm. Like the color pops, man. The black with the turquoise,
man.
I think they're gonna look dope on court too. So I think these are
they haven't
running
worn
for the
these
best.
Yet, huh?
I haven't seen them yet.
I don't think they have. Yeah. Mark, the Philly Jones.
One of the worst. It's definitely kind of just bland.
Yeah. Black.
Yeah, this doesn't work for me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, what were they thinking?
That font is horrible.
Yeah.
That font is horrible.
Yeah.
Mark, Suns.
Phoenix, I'm not really feeling that, man. They already do too much. Similar to Thunder, they do too much already. This is just another just extra move.
Right.
Yo, this is a reach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This is a reach. I'm not rocking with it whatsoever.
Yeah. Kings, I actually don't mind.
We're gonna go loud.
Yes. Yes.
Like they're trying to tune out Robert Sarver news.
Right.
With that jersey, right?
By adding a lot of color. You know what I mean?
Right. They want it to look more diverse. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like their siesta joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Kings did the exact opposite of that, right? Like they said, no, we don't want color. We don't want any type of noise. We want to have a quiet city jersey. What do you think about that, Black?
It's a no for me, man. like I said, bring back the throwback joints or don't change jerseys.
Yeah. The initial
And Mark,
change.
Mark, you made a comment on that. I didn't quite catch it. What was that again on this Kings joint?
I like the initial change from the royal blue Mitch Richmond joints. That first, like C Webb's first run. Give me those.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me
The little
those.
checkerboard joints.
Yes.
Yeah.
These I'm
I
not
like
really
that.
feeling.
And then you got the Spurs joint, Mark.
I'm up in the air, man. I'm undecided on that one. What y'all think, man?
Black.
I would say this is probably my favorite one. Just because of the I like that. I've always liked that turquoise green as the base color for a jersey. Like the Pistons one, the Memphis one. Like for some reason, I like that as a base.
Yeah, pops.
Yeah, and I think we've seen them use that color before too. At some point, I think they had something like a couple of years ago or something like that. But Mark,
Toronto, basic, not impressed.
Yeah, Black.
It looks like OVO.
Yeah, I was gonna say it does feel like OVO.
And that doesn't move the needle over here.
Yeah,
not in the States.
Yeah, Washington is
not over here.
Yeah, Washington is terrible. One of the worst.
Okay, yeah, Black.
Yeah, they just lightened they changed the gradient a little bit on the on Photoshop to make it a little lighter.
Right. Same exact jersey as the white one, right? Just adjusted the gradient. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, fellas, we're almost out of here, man. We hope that everybody enjoys the episode. But before we get gone, I definitely want to review our tank watch to see what do we think. I'm pleasantly surprised that the teams that we thought were going to tank, they seem to be really performing well, and the teams we expected to do well find themselves at the bottom. So,
in tank
what do you?
Position.
Yeah, what do you guys think about tank watch?
Man,
Houston narratives.
Houston is going to find themselves in the top 3 again. That's pretty wild. Honestly, the NBA lightweight has to do something about that. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah,
because it's not like they're not trying; they're just not good. I was watching them last night. I mean, they kept up. They kept up pretty well, but like they're just not gonna win games. Like you could just see it at the end of the game. They just don't have the experience in order to get over that hump. So I think them. I also want to throw this narrative out, y'all. Don't be surprised. I know Melo just came back, but don't be surprised if Charlotte is in that hunt. Don't be surprised if Charlotte gets Wembanyama.
Yeah, that'll be actually good, man.
Hey, I see that Houston is there. The Lakers are right behind them.
Yeah,
they've won 2 games as well, and New Orleans has their pick.
Yeah.
So now we have to entertain the idea at this point of pairing Wembanyama, Victor, V-Dub, that might be a good nickname for V-Dub, with Zion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, that's a conversation.
Crazy.
At this point, with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum and Zion, so Charlotte, I do think Charlotte's going to end up sliding and probably being worse than both of those teams potentially. I can see that very well, but yeah, man, this tank watch is going on strong. You got 4 teams with three or less wins. That's pretty crazy. So and Charlotte and Detroit even have a lock, almost as if they're a lock to be a top 5 lottery.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's insinuating or what, but that's appropriate though. You know what I mean?
I was looking at that too. Like, what are they trying to say with that?
Right. All right. Well, fellas, man, we had a lot that we covered on this episode. It was great to definitely be on with you guys. Any last thoughts, any final words before we close on out? Black, we'll start with you.
Man, I just want to say, make sure, No Hezzy community, make sure you guys lock in. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe. And also, man, click that notification bell so that we can buy cameras that look as good as Marcus's, man. All right. I need money, y'all.
Right.
Okay. That's what this is about. All right.
Leak. What about you,
Hey.
man?
Hey man, this was a very dense episode. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I think the moral of the story is, do your Googles. I think that's what this episode represents to me. You can find out so much just by Googling something. So this is my dog Mello. She want to say hi to y'all. Say hi, Mello.
What's up, Mello?
What's up, Mello?
Yeah, not named after the OTL player. All right. But yeah.
Man.
Mark, final thoughts?
Man, final thoughts. This league never ceases to amaze me, man. There's always so many narratives, and we're gonna be talking about them all right here on the No Hezzy Hoopcast. So stay locked with us, y'all. Do us a huge favor. Like and subscribe on whatever platform you're viewing this. YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or any podcast platform, leave us a 5-star review because that helps us stay active in the algorithm, y'all. We're trying to build this thing up. So we appreciate y'all. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
Peace.